You have.
Cheaters.
You all voted for progress. You all voted for more innovative ideas. You all voted for more of Mayor Tim Keller. Ladies and gentlemen, you are getting another 4 years of Mayor Tim Keller.
That's right. Finish what we started. Finish what we started.
Finish what we started.
Finish what we started. Yes.
Now, Hakeem, earlier, we've been doing a lot of talking, but I think there's only one person who can introduce our mayor for another 4 years.
The person who knows him best.
Jack and Maya went to bed already, I think.
They're already in bed.
Yeah, this is true. So, First Lady Liz Kirsten Keller for another 4 years.
First Lady again. Thank you very much.
Lots of you have been working around the clock for the last 4 years. But as you know, this is really special for Tim and I. We were both born and raised here in Albuquerque, and this opportunity to serve our hometown is truly incredible. And it's that much more special because we get to do this service shoulder to shoulder alongside all of you. So we want to thank our families again for being truly extraordinary in this journey, and we couldn't do it without them. And we want to thank all of you who have become such a huge family for us at the City of Albuquerque and in our wider community. I think some of the amazing things over the last couple of days, as we've been door knocking and phone calling with volunteers, is just to see all of the incredible folks across our community who found different ways to step up and pitch in. Not just on the campaign, but through civic engagement with the city over the last 4 years, helping their own communities, helping their families. And it's that kind of energy, it's that kind of engagement across the city that gives Tim and I the energy every day and gives the incredible team leading the city the energy every day to wake up and say, let's do this for 4 more years. So as we think about the road ahead, we know there is an incredible amount of work in front of us. And we feel so proud about the foundation that Tim, that the entire team at the city, that community partners from all across Albuquerque have built, and what it means now to move forward with a second term where we can take the bold ideas like the Gateway Center, like the Community Safety Department, and like so many other to make sure we're working together, not just across city departments, but across community organizations, across all neighbors, across all sectors in our community, so that we can address these challenges and we can continue to stand up and serve and create a better future for every single person and every single family in Albuquerque. First Lady for these last 4 years, and it will continue to be an honor going forward. I will continue to work side by side and shoulder by shoulder with all of you as we continue to expand our civic engagement, to find ways that we let every single person in Albuquerque who wants to be part of this innovative work, who wants to be part of celebrating our successes and solving our biggest challenges together. So to all of the voters out there, the ones who voted for Tim tonight or who voted for other candidates, we need you. We need all of us working together because we know that we can address these challenges. We can create a better future, but it will take all of us stepping up in different ways and with our passions to make it happen. So as we look to the next 4 years, and before I get to introduce my love to talk about all of the things he loves about this city and the work ahead, we continue to share that and ask you to think about what you love most about this city, what you love doing to move this city forward, and to think about how we do that for the next 4 years together. So with that, I want to introduce my great love, who is not only an incredible husband and partner, and an incredible father to our kids, but a tireless public servant with undying optimism and with undying energy for serving this city. I know a lot of you get to see that firsthand, and it's my great pleasure to introduce your still mayor of Albuquerque.
So special, and look, let's give it up for our First Lady, wonderful Liz, and mother of our kids. Thank you so much, Lizzie. Well, good evening, Albuquerque. Good evening, everyone who's tuning in here across the state. And I just want to thank you so much for keeping Keller for another 4 years. Thank you so much. And no, tonight is not just a victory for us and our family, right? We know that in this election, Albuquerque stood up for integrity, for truth, for everything that we want to do in the future. We stood up for moving forward, for staying the course. Thank you so much for being with us on this journey to make our city a better place. Now, fundamentally for me, anytime there's a chance to serve your hometown in any capacity, it is humbling. It's something I'm grateful for. And I also know it's something that is not always easy. And we saw this in the numerous debates and so forth when people tried to say that things like crime and public safety and homelessness were easy to fix, that just saying a phrase would make them go away. This election was about real leadership. It's about how hard it is to get that done, but it's also about the tenacity and the resilience that you have to really problem solve, to dig deep, and to actually address root causes. That's what this election was all about. Thank you. Now, I just want to share, of course, my deepest gratitude to our family who's been involved in this. It's, of course, our children you saw earlier, our First Lady, Liz. Also, my in-laws who were here, and my parents. And my dad towed someone who was stuck at a polling place with his toe chain this morning. You know, public service comes from family, fundamentally. But I want to thank all our family who's been part of this, even my brother out there on Manal waving a sign. People thought he was me, so hey, now they're talking over. But I just want everyone to know that there is a whole village, a whole team that does everything we need to do, whether it's run the city every day, or it's our city councilors who do their part to help our city, or it's the directors, the executive team, the rank and file at the city. There are thousands of people who work every day to make this city better. Thank you so much to everyone who's dedicated to that mission. Now, of course, I do want to thank our campaign team, Chris Rocha, he's out there, and I know Fran Flores, Mario, and also the formidable Betty O'Gean this time. That's right. been steady. It's not going to end well. So we're grateful for her and all she's done in her career, but also for her help on this. Look, these results were surprising. They were surprising in a great way for everything we're trying to accomplish. I don't know anyone who picked the kind of result we saw today. And whether it's 55 or 56, it sends a clear message. We're staying the course, we're going to keep doing what's right, and we're not going to change. We're just going to keep better, and we're going to work harder, and we're going to keep lifting up our city. Now, I do want to take a moment to just thank our opponents. They stepped up, they ran for a tough job. And I know Eddie Aragon, who of course I used to play football with at Pius back in the day, we disagree on pretty much everything. But he ran a respectable race, and it's something he should be proud of, and I think he was authentic about it. And so I appreciate Eddie being in this race. And of course to Manny, I just hope he honors the commitment to not be political. We need our sheriff. He's got one more year left as sheriff. And we need him to support APD, to support Chief Medina, to support every single officer in the city, no matter who they work for. And so tonight, I know this is, I think, the 8th time that I've been fortunate enough to be on a ballot in New Mexico. And every race is different. Every race is about democracy, and democracy teaches us something every time there's election. It teaches us what people expect fundamentally from their elected leaders. And I know, sometimes these races can be about personalities, sometimes they can be about big issues, but I know this race was about something very, very powerful. This race was about what kind of leadership do we need in tough times. We know these are tough times. Every candidate agrees that these are tough times. And look, whether it's COVID, whether it's homelessness or crime, these are challenges facing every city in America. But I also know I'm grateful to live in Albuquerque. I know that our future is bright. I know that we did better during the pandemic than any other city in the West. We were healthier. Our economy is in good shape. It's roaring back. And while it was 4 years ago that voters trusted me to address our issues head on, and to dig deep and to address the root causes around the systematic challenges we have with respect to crime, homelessness, even job insecurity. But this election was about building on a foundation. That's right, those things that the First Lady mentioned, whether it's our community safety department, whether it's the fact that we're putting $300 million out in infrastructure projects in neighborhoods that haven't seen new lights and new community centers in decades. It is about moving forward on building upon what we have set forth. Even things like the Gateway Center, even hiring more officers, even committing to our superintendent of reform and to those efforts. It's an all-of-the-above approach, because that's what you got to do when problems are real hard. There's no easy answers. But I know with you, with all of us, dedicated to what we need to do to this city, we're going to push forward. And we're going to lift up this city for future generations. Now, I also want to share that, a lot of times people ask me, do you like campaigning, especially during this campaign? And I want to let you know that, I have always fundamentally believed that campaigns are really important because you get to tell your story. And it's up to the voters what they think of that story. But I know this campaign gave us a chance to talk about what this city is doing to address our challenges. Even if the media might not cover it, right? Even if the media for 4 years is focused on 1 or 2 issues, this campaign showed how important it is that we tell the whole story. That we tell the truth about what's going on in our city. And that we stand up against division. That we stand up against hatred. And that we stand up for everyone who lives here. Our immigrants, our refugees, and these things all. Those who need our help. And so I think we all learned that the Duke City has a thirst for our own issues. We decide our future, not the national narrative or what's happening, or not necessarily even what we read on the front page of a paper. We decided, and tonight we decided, that we actually appreciated some things, like cleaning up the art project, like standing up for asylum seekers, like standing up for unions and for our working families. things that no one has even read one story about. Like the fact that we've put $500 million in supportive and affordable housing in this city, and we have another 500 units at hundreds of millions of dollars lined up. The fact that the economy's growing at 5%, bigger than it was in 2019. The fact that we've announced thousands of jobs, more than we have in the last decade combined. So while we know we have our challenges, we also know we've got our strengths. We're gritty in Albuquerque, we're resilient, and we know how to deal with the challenge, and we proved that during COVID, and we're going to prove that in the next 4 years. So it's an honor to serve Albuquerque. It's an honor to serve all of this city. We're grateful for it, and we want to leave no one left behind. Whether it's folks in my childhood home out by Dunwoody High School, whether it's folks on the west side where I went to school, or the International District that gave me my first chance in public service as a state senator, and where Liz and I started our family. Or it's areas of the city in our core, like Morelos, downtown San Jose, the parks and the libraries we're building up and down Route 66, and it's all of the funding that we're shifting towards our underserved communities who've needed that investment for decades. We are there for all of Albuquerque. Now that also means even the libertarians, the independents, the Republicans, the conservatives, the liberals, and the progressives, and the young and old, and the seniors and the millennials, and the working families and the business owners. I think you know one thing. You know that I will listen. I will learn, and I will also take action. I will do what is in the best interest of all of this city. And going forward, we're going to continue to face our challenges head on. And I believe that together with one Albuquerque, we have the spirit and the power to lift up this city. I believe in Albuquerque. Do you believe in Albuquerque with me? We know it's not going to be easy. We know it's not going to be simple. We know we've got to stand with our teachers. We've got to stand with our entrepreneurs. We've got to stand with our first responders, police and fire. And tonight, the voters showed that they are with us in that vision, that we are going to do this together, and we're going to have the strength and the courage to face our toughest challenges. That is what tonight is truly a referendum on. And so know this, with 4 more years under our belt, we are going to call it like it is. We're going to problem solve. We're going to make the tough decisions. And in Albuquerque, we are never going to let up, because we love this city, and we're not going anywhere, and we're excited about our future. I want to thank you all for coming tonight.